Hey guys, this is KSB with Tape, and today you join me for a video I've been meaning to do for a while, and I actually get asked to do quite a lot, and I actually mean that. I actually get asked to do this video quite a lot, which is BD Armory in space, because I do a lot of BD Armory videos, and I do a lot of space battle videos, and people are often like, why don't you do BD Armory in space? And I'd love to do that, but it is quite a hard thing to do, and this video is mainly going to be kind of demonstrating that, and then probably getting killed a lot, as I try to demonstrate that I can-ish do it, maybe. So yeah, when I do stuff in the atmosphere, as I'm gonna demonstrate with this plane now, say I want to dodge a bullet, or multiple bullets, or missiles, because when you're using BD Armory, you can get an AI to basically shoot you, and they're very accurate, so you have to dodge. And the way you do this is, well, using aerodynamic maneuvers. As you can see, I just took off there, and that is because, in simple terms, the air is hitting my wings quite hard, and because I pulled up, a component of the force is actually pushing on my wings and pushing upwards. And now you're thinking, that's probably not a huge force, but if you think about the amount of force that is required to lift this plane off the ground, that's quite a lot. And when I'm in a hard turn, these wings create more force than the engine. The engine creates about, or just a little under 100 kilonewtons of thrust. These wings, in hard turns, so turns like the ones I would be pulling if I was dodging, say, bullets or a missile, those are going to generate, I think, each wing, often close to 150 kilonewtons of thrust. That's like having basically 3 of those jet engines just for pulling up and pushing down and doing all that kind of stuff to evade bullets. So emulating that in space is quite hard because obviously there's no air. So you could use thrusters, like maybe RCS thrusters, but the problem with RCS thrusters is they're not powerful enough. So if I go back to the spaceplane hangar, we can take a look at our options for this. Now, I could strap a bunch of these engines on the bottom, however that seems pretty just not very effective, since I'd have to throttle them and things, and they're jet engines, but I could do it with liquid fuel engines, I guess, and it would work in space. The other option is RCS ports, but these only have 2 kilonewtons of thrust, so to generate the kind of same power as an engine, I'd need maybe 50 of these, and that's not really practical. However, KSP does have an alternative. Well, yeah, I guess I could try putting a bunch of these on, but this probably isn't a great idea, and I need a lot of monopropellant, which wouldn't be super, it wouldn't be super practical. However, as I was saying, KSP does have an alternative, the Werner thruster, which uses liquid fuel and oxidizer, to do the same thing as an RCS port. So this produces 12 kilonewtons of thrust, so that's pretty practical. I could use maybe just maybe 5 of these or 10 of these or something and produce a lot of force. So I am going to attempt to use just Werner thrusters to replace my wings so that I could effectively use the plane as it would be used in atmosphere, but in space. So yes, out on the runway, you join me with my invention. This is basically a VTOL, but it uses these thrusters instead of normal engines, which means I don't have to, play around with throttles and action groups. I can just use the J key to get upwards lift. This is like artificial lift, I guess. Now I've got those engines on the back, also using liquid fuel just out of practicality, so this would work in space. And you can see I can fly it around like a pretty sluggish plane, but nonetheless it does work. And although the aerodynamic model does model lifting bodies these days, so this isn't a perfect representation of how it would work in space, there's also no air resistance pushing against the force of the thrusters in space, so it's probably a relatively accurate representation. But you can see I can pull around and probably pull almost the sort of maneuvers that I could pull with normal aircraft, which means that this might actually work like a plane in space. So when you think about those kind of Star Wars things, the Star Wars spaceships which fly around and pull up to dodge, you could do that. This is, I think, what Star Citizen's actually kind of going for. But do be careful about your fuel flow, or maybe you will get rather unstable and fall apart. But it would be nice to be able to land, well, not on the VAB because I went over that, but maybe I could just land this on the spaceplane hangar to test its true VTOL capabilities. But yeah, this is actually an interesting way of building a VTOL as well, but very inefficient. But anyway, now we're coming down quite nicely. Our little Kerbal looks pretty happy considering he's about to hit the VAB probably too hard. But anyway, yeah, let's just touch this down. You can see I'm using a couple of reaction wheels just for a little extra control. But anyway, nice. Stick the landing, perfect. Anyway, after flying my contraption to space, I would love to test it out in space as a plane. So, using my ascent stage, well, the second stage of my ascent stage as a reference point, let's see if I can fly around it kind of like a plane. I've moved the engines to the middle because I thought that would be a good idea. Although I'm kind of sensing I might get some overheating. But you can see this does kind of generate lift. But I'm not really flying properly right now, actually. The thing you want to do is when you pull up with the S key, like you would in a plane, you also want to hit the J key, which will activate the thrust, which will basically, well, create artificial lift, I guess, which is how you'd fly in space. This is, not going actually very well. Also, my back tank's basically on fire. The readouts for that always show up because my recording key is tied to the same key that turns on the kind of readout for overheating on parts. But yeah, this is kind of working-ish. You can see I've got some maneuvers going. Although I am going to lose that back fuel tank. Oh god. But anyway, I'll try. I kind of want to fly around this more like a plane. I've got to kind of. I'm still in the mindset where, when I want to move upwards, I use the Werner thrusters, whereas that's not what I want to be doing. I want to be just moving myself by, you know, changing my path, like this. Yeah, I can kind of get this now. If I just use the engines as, like, forward thrust to, like, change my direction, and just, it's hard to explain, but I want to, if you think of the main engines as giving me my kinetic energy, and the thrusters just as being my wings that change my direction. But yeah, this isn't going great. I'm just flipping out now. But yeah, I mean, there isn't really anything that says I have to fly this like a plane in space, because okay, yeah, that was what I feared. That didn't go great. That exploded quite poorly. But anyway, if I quick load and try that again, I think I might be able to get this if I just kind of think like a plane. No, it's just a matter of not trying to use the thrusters as like you would use thrusters in space normally. You want to use them like just as wings to change your direction, and then use your like engines to accelerate. It's hard to explain, but yeah, you see, I can kind of do loops if I really try. And as I just try, basically the thing you want to do is try and stay in the prograde marker. I should use the autopilot really for this. It would just make it a lot easier. But yeah, I can kind of do a ring around this. Yeah, I can kind of loop myself around. It is quite hard to do this. This flying belies how hard it was. I did actually have some commentary for this, but flying like this and commentating, very difficult. Anyway, I've kind of lost it now. But anyway, you can see the theory works. That bit just then shows that I can loop around and fly like a plane if I really want to. But why would I fly like a plane when I could fly like a spaceship and actually just use thrusters in every direction? So instead of having to pull up and thinking about pulling up and using the thrusters, which is twice as much as you have to think about while just pulling up in a plane in atmosphere, why don't I just use it like a spaceship and have thrusters everywhere? Let's see where that gets me. So yes, I am here with my final sort of creation type thing. This is, well, like I said, my final sort of space fighter. I think there's another one over there that didn't quite work. But yeah, because it looks sort of space fightery, I guess it has pointless wings, because you've got to bring your wings into space. I guess it could help it fly back, and I guess it would work sort of as really shitty armor. One of the main reasons I don't use BD Armory in Kerbal Wars is because wings make pretty good armor against like stock missiles, but like a gun will just strip right through this in BD Armory, so it makes everything pretty much irrelevant. So it doesn't make for an interesting series. But anyway, yeah, so this does have a couple of missiles, which are all action grouped, a couple of guns, engine at the back, just lots of little bits, and loads of thrusters on all sides, so I don't have to keep turning like a plane, because that's one of the big things I was going to bring up, is why fly like a plane in space? You have so much more freedom. And our enemy today is Ultron. No, of course it's not Ultron, it's Get Wrecked. Because it's probably gonna kill me so easily. It's just gonna be laughing. I think that one's mine. Yeah, because that one's, I don't know. There's two in space, because that one doesn't have a weapon manager. So yeah, if I just engage guard mode, throw in some missiles, guard mode, all that, it's already set up. almost like I just set that up while trying to record this just now. But anyway, okay, so let's do an attack run. Team A, it's using missiles this time. I'm going to demonstrate how pointless I am against missiles. This H, by the way, is hyper-edit because I couldn't be bothered to keep launching things on rockets in giant, stupid fairings. So yeah, let's get in, let's fly in. Also, this is also carrying a great deal of fuel because quite important to have a lot of fuel when you need it to stay alive. Jeb looking very happy there. I think Valentina's over there. Damn it, I kind of wanted to use Valentina in this. I haven't used her for a lot of missions yet, but Well, I guess she'll just back up Jeb. Well, considering she doesn't have a weapon manager, so she's not considered an enemy by this AI. This AI called Ultron. No, of course I could do something interesting and get BD Armory to the weapon manager to shoot for me. However, the whole point, really, that I'm trying to make is there's no point having people in space. Well, there's a few points I'm trying to make. One thing is just trying to test out this thing everyone keeps asking me to do, because it's interesting. And partly just kind of what a lot of people keep saying is just, why would you have people fighting in space when you could just have a machine that could do it so easily? Because space is perfect for machines. There's no air resistance, there's very few external factors. As long as you know how the orbital mechanics works and all that, everything's fine. Okay, I'm in range. Okay, I'm not in range of them, though. But yeah, you can see I can shoot. However, shooting in space is pretty hard, because it's going straight forward, isn't it? And orbits are curved, so you have to get in quite close, unless I'm shooting something really big, which I'm not. This thing is tiny. But yeah, I have every way control on this. Oh, that's not done well, is it? It caused my thing to... I mean, that's meant for dodging. That's why it tips up crazily. But yeah, I'm thinking I might be able to do a bit of dodging. Little bit of a dodging. Okay, it should be starting to fire on me pretty soon. I'm trying not to go too fast, because also they do have orange tips, so I should be able to see them coming through space. The missiles that'll be firing at me, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it's gonna shoot me. I'm really hoping that it will shoot at me. Oh, yep, that's gunfire. Didn't expect that for some reason. You know what? Higher orbits prove my thing a lot better. Whoa, yeah. See, that's one of the reasons. Start returning fire. Yeah, this is one of the reasons BD Armory is quite difficult. Although, you know what? Wings did almost work as a bit of armor there. Yeah! That did... Yeah, it's pretty hard to fight stuff. It's gonna fire again. I'm out of ammo. Bail on him! I'm out of here. Yeah. Fuck. So it's pretty hard to assault something that can pinpoint you so easily. Let's see if I can switch to the thing. You know what, let's just quick load. So yeah, guns pretty effective in space when they're being targeted by something, by a static body. Of course, there are other ways of doing this. I thought I set this to use missiles, did I not? But yeah, this is what... Yeah, that's the problem with BD Armory in space is it's very difficult to dodge anything. Because... Oh, okay, I thought I put guard mode on. It is on. I guess it picks the weapons. You know what? That worked well. That pretty much is what I wanted to demonstrate, was how really difficult it is to dodge bullets in space. And I'm thinking that my control system could be better, and I'm going to try and do a little better this time, and I'm going to try and just pop up a missile, because victory, although obviously if it wanted to fire a missile it could, and it would murder me. But yeah, it's just... the intuitiveness isn't there in space, because you have to have a control system that isn't as easy as you pull up to move upwards like it is in a plane in the atmosphere, and I just have to like point my plane and the air will deal with it. But with this I have to use my controls and things, and that's why I put thrusters on every side, because that's the advantage of space, is you can just... you're not falling relative to your target. Well, I guess you are a bit, but you know, you're not falling too far relative to your target, so it's not too hard to just like move out of stuff. I don't know. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so it's easy to move just like up and down and left and right. Oh, I'm still on Team A. Prepare for a bit of death, shall we? Yep, I think I see the glint of my death. Is it gonna shoot me? Do you reckon? Yep. Out of here. I said fire! Oh, you fucking asshole. Okay, good, it did fire. Okay, I've still got thrusters. Ignite the engine! Oh, I'm out of here. Okay, good. See, I did actually manage to dodge those, but... oh, it's trying to shoot the missiles. Wrecked. Victory! Maybe. Hopefully. Yeah, it looks pretty wrecked. So yeah, you can beat these things. It's not impossible to win a fight in space. But the other thing about space battles is, if you think about it, why would you use guns in a space battle? Because it's understandable when you know, even in an air battle, you're just going to use missiles because they're going to target so easily. And in space, it's so easy to target. I have lost half my spacecraft. But anyway, anyway, I think I've probably made my point enough about why it's very difficult to fight in space. But let's try and fucking win this thing, shall we? Why am I complaining so much? No, I hope this hasn't sounded too complainy. I know this episode might, because it's kind of just talking about the problems of space battles. But, I'm sure I can edit that out. No, it's, I don't know. It's just a difficult thing to do, but I do very much like this sort of thing. And I do want to keep trying this. I actually have had loads of ideas for things I could do as a space battle. But it is just difficult, when you don't have, like, air and aerodynamics to help you. Because then you have to have your own control scheme, and you have to have a lot of things, and it makes it quite hard to beat a computer, because computers are quite good and they're faster than me. And hell, even if you've ever seen any of my other BD Armory stuff, I usually win by just using gravity to drop bombs on things, because computers are always going to be faster than me. That's just a thing. So you've got to take that into account. But I reckon if I'm smart and fast and dodgy and can get in close enough, I can win this. Let's save it here, because that went so well last time when I saved on approach. I don't know what his gun's set to. Yeah, here we go. Dodge, 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 dodge. Oh my god, I'm alive? Okay, let's fire my guns. Just keep turning. Just keep turning. Just keep turning. Yeah, this is really difficult to do. You see how it just kills me so easily? It's... maybe I'm not carrying enough thrust, but... I don't know, I pointed that out quite well earlier, I think, with the whole... I just have to move like a meter for... If I move 100 meters, it has to move like maybe half a degree to... You know, I'm flying into the bullets right now. I'm thinking that's a good way to confuse it. And pull down. Yeah, I'm just going to try and fly this like a plane right now, because that was my original plan, and I think it's actually a pretty good way of doing it. Yeah, you can see I can just keep rolling out of the way of gunfire, but it will eventually catch up with me. Although I'm still alive. Let's see if I can just get past it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to shoot it, and oh, it's hit my pod. You can see that it's like overheated. Oh my god, I can still fly though. This actually works surprisingly well as a plane if you fly it right, basically. As you can see, I can turn back around just using these thrusters. But it just has so much authority in space. And you know what? In the atmosphere, it has a lot as well. I'm going to fly past it right now. But yeah, it's... I don't know. I think the point I've just really tried to get across is that this is... You can't beat an AI. And I'm sure I could do other things with BD Armory in a very Kerbal Wars style sort of thing, if you've seen any of my Kerbal Wars. But, yeah, it's really hard to win a battle in space. But I am going to try one more time, so I can have an epic conclusion. This is the final decider. This is where I'm going to fly in and dodge, and oh my god, I completely forgot I was here. I forgot how close I left myself to the spacecraft. Yeah, I'm just going to get a missile in. No, I want to get it with guns. Not that I can, so I'm going to get it with missiles. Oh, why am I flying towards it? Open fire! Did I get him off? Oh my god. Oh, wow. Now it's shooting my missiles. Now I can get in with guns. Wreck. I think it may have killed my gun. Oh, no. Okay, I've distracted it. Why aren't my guns pointing? Which one is it? Why won't you shoot? Oh, good. It was turned off. Thanks. Thanks, BD Armory. Nice one. Now I'm dead. Okay, my computer's fuck up. Yeah, this is hopeless, basically. It's still shooting me, but I don't even have a weapon manager. I think it's gotten sentient and just wants me dead now. But yeah, this has been basically my ridiculously long explanation of why this is really hard. But it is fun. I do implore you to try this yourself, actually. It is crazy amounts of fun, and now I'm going to spin forever. Get out! Jebediah! But I do implore you to try this yourself, and I actually am going to continue to maybe do a few more videos on this, maybe just try and get this sort of thing to work, maybe figure out just a different format from my usual let's go kill God mode and fucks up some AIs, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's possible, because As you can see, it has total dominance here, just because it's too much to think about. I can't think about that many things. Maybe an experienced pilot would. I'll bring in some expert fighter pilot. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. This has been KSP with Tape, me getting wrecked as fuck. I will see you next time.